Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Good afternoon pa pala. I got used to the good evening greeting. Anyway, we're doing this earlier tonight because I have a lot of things to do, but I can never miss out on the Business Thursdays episode because this is one of the most requested topic of all time. How do we really start a business? And so I will be giving you some of the tips that we can use so that you will be able to jumpstart your business. And while you're doing it, I mean, while you're conceptualizing it, you have a lot of things to think about, and I will be giving them to you today. And before that, I'd like to greet everyone. Good afternoon, and especially to those who have been constantly watching and supporting my channel. Thank you so much. And I'd also like to greet the ones who are watching via replay. Thank you so much. You can definitely post your comments on the comment section below so that I will know that you actually watch, and you can also post your questions just in case you have one. And you can also send us a private message, us talaga, because it's a team. So you can send us a private message and ask your questions. And so we'll start this. Let me also introduce myself. I always forget. I'm Irene, a real estate broker in the Philippines, and I'm also a motivational speaker and a writer. And I do a lot of things in between, but for branding purposes, I'll stick to those three things that I said. Okay, let me start this business Thursdays episode. Okay, there. Okay, so we will be starting with questions. Now, of course, you still have to conceptualize about your business, do your financials, and stuff like that. But this is an overview of how you can put your thoughts in a structure. So we will be starting with this first one. We will be having 6 key points on how to start a business. And to understand business, I mean, to be able to understand the start of a business, let's start with this first key point. So, most of the time, people are saying that you should be passionate about what your business is all about, or it's something that you really, really, really love doing. But for me, you have to consider what are you really good at, because sometimes what you're good at is totally different from what you really love. Parang ganito, may mga tao na love nila kumanta, pero hindi naman sila magaling kumanta. So parang ganon. In business, it's also the same thing. You can focus on what you're good at instead of focusing on what you really love. But if you're good at something that you really love, then it's a perfect combination. So for example, if you're really good in cooking and you also love cooking, then basically you can build a business around it, diba? So you're building a business over something around something that you're really good at, and at the same time you really love what you're doing. So perfect combination yon. But that's in an ideal world setup. Hindi lahat ng tao nakukuha nila yung magaling sila and then at the same time love nila yung ginagawa nila. So you have to choose, you have to do a balance. Um, you have to weigh the pros and cons. Saan ka ba magaling, and will it work out better for you if you will build a business in around something that you're really good at, or are you going to build a business around something that you love? Now, again, take it with a grain of salt, because sometimes we tend to like build a business around something that we love, and then eventually we get frustrated because we're not um, getting good at it. Or on the other hand, pwede naman magsimula ka with something that you really, really love doing, and then eventually you'll become good at it. Who knows, right? If you really if you really love it, maybe eventually you will have the skills, or you will have the courage to constantly improve yourself. So yun, focus. Key point number one is balance between what you're good at, and balance it between, I mean, in contrast or in comparison with what you love. Okay, good and love. Yun yung mga keywords natin. What you're good at and what you love. So do not build the business. Okay, do not build a business wherein you're not good at it, tapos you don't like it at all. Okay, it's not gonna work ever. Yon, sinasabi ko na yon. At least meron ka ng filters, di ba? You're not good at it and then you don't love it, why build a business around it? Okay? Next is, who are you building the business with, and who are you building the business for? Okay, why are we asking these questions? Una, who are you building the business with? Because it's essential to know that you always that you have it's essential to know who you're building the business with, because these are the people who will grow with you or who will fail with you. So be sure that you are with the right group, or you are with the right team, or you are with the right person when you're building the business, because it's easy to fail. By the way, it's easier to fail than to succeed. And if you talk to a lot of business people, you will hear this a lot. It's easier to fail than to succeed. So the key thing here is you have to know who you're building the business with, and are they willing to fail with you? Because obviously everyone wants to succeed with you, but when you're building a business, you have to know if they're willing to fail with you, because that's a risk. Business, just like anything else, is a risk. So if that person that you're building the business with is ready to fail with you, or is willing to fail with you, then by all means you are on the right track and you are with the right person. Okay, hindi po pwede na puro sasama lang siya sa'yo kasi alam niyang magiging successful ka. Of course, obviously, we are always counting on the people that we're working with, that we will be successful and all those things. But of course, when you're also building a business, you have to remember that 9 out of 10 businesses fail, especially kung first time ninyo magtatayo ng business. So you really have to be careful about this particular engagement. And also, when you're building a business, tapos you have, you are working with that person, make sure na hindi ma-affect yung personal relationship ninyo, because it always happens, okay? Na na-affect yung personal relationship, tapos totally nawawala yung friendship, ganyan. So, make sure that kayang i-separate yung personal versus sa business relationship, kasi it's very critical. Okay, and of course, also ask yourself, who are you building the business for? Because sometimes we tend to forget that we are serving clients or we are serving customers. It's not ourselves who we're serving. So you have to be particular with who you're marketing your products to, who are you selling your products to or your services to, so that you will also know what their needs are, what their wants are, what is their demographic profile, what's their income, etc. So these are the things that you really have to pinpoint, no, so at the early start, I mean at the onset, okay, at the onset of your business, you should already be able to pinpoint these details in your business plan, or in your, even in your brainstorming session, dapat meron na kayong idea about this. Next is, why do you want to build the business? If you ask people about why they built their businesses, especially the really big ones, yung talagang super super, ano ba tawag nito, yung mga super famous na mga businessmen, you will notice that the you will notice that their main purpose in building their business is not really so much about money. They started with the goal of improving people's lives. Take a look at Steve Jobs, right? It's more about changing the technology so that people will have better lives, better technology. Also with Bill Gates, also with Elon Musk. Diba? Hindi naman talaga pera yung yung pinaka core ng business nila. They started with how to serve the people that, the people around them. And in fairness, 'di ba? Naging buong mundo. Paano nga ba nila masiserve? So yun yung goal nila when they started their business. So ikaw, bilang magsisimula ka ng business mo, why do you want to build a business? Kasi obviously everyone wants to earn. That's exactly why you're doing this, right? But aside from money, why is it that you want to build a business? Whatever for? Para saan ba talaga kung bakit gusto mong magtayo ng negosyo? Kasi it's not an easy task to build a business. In fact, it's also as daunting and it's as exhilarating and as challenging as employment. In fact, feeling ko nga twice the effort, twice the twice the energy, twice everything. Kasi syempre gusto mong magtayo ng negosyo, ang pinakaunang empleyado ng negosyo mo ikaw. And I remember when I was also starting businesses, parang feeling ko ako yung pinakapagod, no? Together with my partners, parang kami yung pinakapagod na miyembro ng opisina namin. Kasi all the effort that we're doing, it's always thrice as much as everybody else because we want to desperately build the foundation and make the business succeed. Okay, I'll use desperate kasi it comes to a point where it gets really exhausting na parang feeling mo naubos na lahat ng energy mo pero kailangan mong ituloy ang laban kasi, well, you're here, you're the business owner. There's no other way to do it. You really have to do everything so that your business works, 'di ba? So ganon. So if you want to build a business, ask yourself, why do you want to build a business? Okay, next is, and to those who just came in, hello! Nagulat kayo, it's a lot earlier than usual. Kasi may lakad ako later, so kaya I'm doing this earlier. But of course, I will still be posting this for those who are expecting this at 8 p.m. So i-repost na lang natin para makita ng mga pang 8 p.m. na audience. Okay, this is the first time I ever went live on a Thursday night at 5:30 p.m. Okay, again, our topic for tonight is all about Business Thursdays, which is all about how to start a business. So it's a Business Thursdays podcast episode. Okay, so how do we start a business? Next is the key point number 4 is, when do you intend to start? Now, one of the common questions that I encounter during business consultancy is, do I have to resign from my job if I'm building a business? The answer is no, not really, but it's really up to you. Okay, if you have already established, if you've already established outside of your employment, that's okay. But if you're just about to start a business, I recommend that you do not immediately resign. Okay, so you do not immediately resign kasi syempre, dapat meron ka pa ring stability, no? Because when you're starting a business, it's not stable at first. In fact, if you're building a brick and mortar business, which means that you have a physical store, ang turnaround time niyan para mag-pick up ng sales and stuff, it's gonna be around 1 to 2 years. So hindi siya ganun kadali. Kung online naman yung business mo, siguro ang pinaka mababa, no, yung kumbaga what makikita mo na yung yung pacing ng business mo, siguro mga 6 months. But still, it depends on the products that you're selling or the services that you're pushing for. So hindi siya ganun kadali na parang pag-resign mo agad-agad may benta na kagad yung business mo. It's not as easy as that. So you need to have a plan. When do you intend to start the business? Kasi again, it's not easy. At the same time, we don't want you to be jumping to another ship without first making sure that your business will work, diba? Also, another thing that I have to emphasize is, again, you have to take this with a grain of salt because balancing between employment and having a business is really challenging. So kung talagang you've already made up your mind of establishing a business, then kailangan mo munang kailangan mo talagang ikondisyon yung sarili mo na kaya mong pagsabayan both business and employment. Kasi sinasabi ko na 'to, mapapagod ka sa gagawin mong yon. So, kailangan din ng matinding mind conditioning. Kasi minsan kaya din tayo umaayaw, 'di ba, sa mga endeavors natin, whether employment or business, kasi nga hindi hindi nagugulat tayo, na-overwhelm tayo na, mahirap pala. Tapos bigla tayong magbo-back out. So ngayon pa lang sinasabi ko na, building a business is not easy. Building a business is very challenging, lalong-lalo na kung magbabalanse ka between employment and business. Ayan. Miss Sonia Aliado, yes, do it part-time muna. Yes, that's true. So habang tinatayo mo yung business mo, part-time muna yung business mo, yung employment mo, karirin mo pa rin. Kasi, di ba, um, again, it's a balancing task. No? It's a balancing job. Tama ba yung sinasabi ko? It's a balancing act. Okay? It's a balancing act. Kailangan nung balansehin. Tapos, as I mentioned earlier, don't overwhelm yourself. Paisa-isa lang. One step at a time, especially if you have already established your business. It's gonna be slowly picking up. Minsan mabilis mag-pick up, minsan slow. So don't overwhelm yourself. Okay? Be kind to yourself when you're already there. Next is, where do you want to build your business? So it can be online or it can be offline, which is what we call as the brick and mortar, or maybe the mom and pop shop. 'Di ba yung tinatayo natin sa villages natin, ganyan. Pwedeng ganon. Or yung brick and mortar, may shop ka, pwedeng nasa loob ng mall or nasa labas ng mall, nasa commercial area. Or are you planning to build your business online? So are you ready with the platforms that you're gonna use? Alam ba natin yung technology that we're using? Di ba marami na ngayon, mga e-commerce. Obviously, if you're selling a product, then you can sell it via platforms like Lazada or Shopee or Zalora. Di ba? Yan yung mga pwede kayong magbenta online. You can also do Facebook Marketplace. So marami, if you're selling your stuff, or if you're selling items or services, you have to choose anong platform yung gagamitin mo so that you will be able to build your business. So again, where do you want to build? Is it online, or the traditional stores that you're gonna build? And of course, ang sixth key point natin for our topic for tonight is, how will you start? How do you really start a business? So as I've mentioned earlier, yung first 5 key points, kailangan masagot natin yun bago tayo magsimula. Aside from that, we also have to compute our expenses. Ano nga ba yung mga potential expenses natin? Ano ba yung business registration process natin? Are we pushing for a sole proprietorship, a partnership, or a corporation? So it's really up to you, no? Ngayon meron ng ano ba yun? Solo person corporation, 'di ba? So you really have to know all these things. Pag-aralan muna, wag tayong mag-jump into that field without knowing all these things. In fact, pwede naman din kayong humingi ng professional advice para malaman ninyo kung tama yung ginagawa ninyo, or how to proceed with step 1, step 2, step 3. Kasi it's easier to do your business, lalong-lalo na pag nagsisimula pa lang, kung meron kang mga kinoconsult din na professionals. Alright? So, again, remember the 6 key points, and of course, we will be having more podcast episodes like this at the regular time na 8 p.m. Hindi na earlier kasi hindi kayo sanay sa 5:30 p.m. and also most of you are probably still traveling to go home, or maybe you're busy sa bahay, no? Hindi pa nagdi-dinner. So we'll do more of this podcast episodes na regarding business para mas ma-raise ang awareness natin on how to build businesses. So again, 5 W's and 1 H lang yon yung diniscuss natin earlier. So what's your business gonna be? who is your market, and who are your target customers, and who are you building your business with. When do you plan to start the business? Why are you building the business? Where are you building the business? And of course, how will you start? Hello, sir. Hello po, flash ko nga yung inyong mga comment. Yes, thank you so much. Ayan, from Estonia. And from Sir Rudy Castillo, watching from Luna Fire Station, La Union, Region 1. Thank you so much, sir, for tuning in. Ayan. So again, so those are the 6 key points. If you have more questions about how to start a business or what is the best business to start, lalong-lalo na ngayong pandemic kasi maraming nag-engage sa business, 'di ba? Dahil sa dahil sa nangyayaring pandemya. And then we eventually realize na marami palang opportunities kahit na amidst the pandemic. So make sure that we take advantage of those opportunities. And if you need further assistance, or if you have questions that I haven't really discussed tonight, or maybe if you want to have more specific answers, you can reach us through our email address. It's business@ivoring.com. And you can also send a message at 912-877-8999, so that you can book an appointment with us, and then you can inquire. You can also ask about questions about your business. Kung meron na kayong business, pwede rin kayong magtanong about how to market, how to strengthen your marketing strategies, ganyan. So please get in touch with us. Do not hesitate, because this is what the podcast episodes are for, helping each other, building each other, so that we will be able to help other people as well. And hopefully, by the efforts that we're doing, we are also influencing other people to be inspired and to be motivated to pursue their goals and dreams in life. And with that, I'm really grateful to those who stayed with us for a couple of minutes. Maiksi lang yung podcast episode natin tonight. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for tuning in, and let's see each other again on Monday for Motivational Monday. So to those of you who have been watching for the past couple of months, yung podcast episodes natin, it used to be every night at 8 p.m. And this October, I said that Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday na lang yung mga podcast episodes natin, to give way then to personal schedules that I'm having. Okay, so with that, thank you all so much for tuning in, and hopefully you were able to pick up some ideas from the podcast episode. And if you believe that you can also help other people, raise an awareness about how to build a business, you can also share this podcast episode. It will be available here and on YouTube once it's uploaded. Thank you, everyone. Thank you all so much. Stay safe, stay healthy, and God bless you all. Bye bye.